It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. Now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime. Geno Jones showtime. Why am I yelling? Because I'm excited. I'm always excited to come on, do the show live, say hi to everybody, do my monologue, do the show, the Geno Jones Show. Yes, I come to you live Monday through Friday, unless it's a holiday. One of the days is a holiday, like Monday was Memorial Day. Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast, 1:30 p.m. in Hawaii. Please, you and everybody you know and don't know. I want to thank everybody. I'm at about 300. I went from 0 to like 300 subscribers. And I want to thank you guys now. For some folks, it might not seem like a lot, but in like not even quite a year and a half, for me, that's a lot. And I just want to thank you because you have a lot of choices and you choose to watch my show either live or you go back and binge watch it. You tell other people about it. And I want to, now, 300 people is a lot of people, but I'm going to make it a point. I'm going to just do some shows where I'm just going to shout out all my new subscribers. I'm just going to shout you out. Thank you. Invite you to reach out to me. I do get some comments. As a matter of fact, that's going to be, my monologue is going to be about a comment that I got within the last 2 hours from a brother named Robert Carroll. So, Robert, I appreciate you watching. So, we're going to have a conversation. The conversation is going to be my monologue. But we're going to talk about some things that you said, pick one. Well, I can pick as many as I want, or pick none at all, but I digress. So happy birthday to all my Geminis. Gemini, stand up. Celebrating a birthday today, actor Dennis Haysbert. So he was Whitney Houston's side piece in Waiting to Exhale. He was my man Pedro, was a Serrano. He was like the Afro-Cuban Latino brother in all the major league movies, like all three of them, the trilogies. And he was a president. He was President David Palmer in one of my favorite TV shows of all time, 24, that I really wish they would actually bring. That's one I'd like to see him bring back. So Dennis Haysbert is 76 today, right? Let me just step around here and take a little peek. No, he's 78. Man, I didn't realize he was up there like that. He's 78 today? Yeah, well, okay. Well, happy birthday, my brother. And actor, we're really comedian, funny brother. Remember the TV show Hanging with Mr. Cooper? Mark Curry, who I got a chance to see about a month ago. As a matter of fact, Cat Williams, he brought his World War III tour here to the Charleston, South Carolina Metro, and his special guest, surprise guest, was Mark Curry, and the brother is still tall and still funny. Not like he's going to shrink, but they say after you get a certain age, you start to shrink. I don't know, you got to work on that posture and everything. So Mark Curry is 61 today. Happy birthday, Mark Curry, my man. Funny dude. Mark, I need to get you on the show, brother, so we can chop it up, because he is truly a funny brother. Just has his own unique style of humor, but he'll have you cracking up. All right. And actor Morgan Freeman. He won an Academy Award, Best Supporting Actor, for his role in $1 Million Baby. Remember, he was in the Dark Knight trilogies from like 2005 to 2012. So he was like the black, he was like the Black Butler. He was like the Black Arnold. Was it Arnold? What was Batman's? Yeah, I think it wasn't it Arnold? I think so. Anyway, so Morgan Freeman today is 86, if I'm correct. Shout out to my mother. Thank you. Let me just step around here. You're 85. Morgan Freeman, they got my cue cards off to the side today. Morgan Freeman is 85, and all my Gemini celebrating a birthday today. Happy birthday. Now, tomorrow, I got a very special show. So tomorrow, I know you watch every day, but make sure, I want all my young people, especially my Gen Zers, Generation Z. So if you are in college, especially in high school, or if you're in middle school, you might want to check with your parents. But I want you to hear what I got to say, because it's important. Because we as adults, we have failed you. We have failed you, we failed ourselves, we failed this country collectively. And it's going to take, it just might take you, my young people, especially my Gen Zers and my millennials, but especially, because see, my Gen Zers are the ones that are in elementary school and in high school and in college. So, you know what? You might have to save all of us from ourselves, especially here in America. So I got a very special message to the youth of America tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. I have an idea I want to share with you. We're going to need, because we need your help. And you can make it happen. You can get the adults' attention like nobody else can. So your parents and your grandparents, yeah, I'm gonna share a conversation with you. I have an idea for you. We'll talk about it. You'll see it tomorrow. Save us from ourselves. So once again, I want to shout out all of my brand new, and from day one, shout out to everybody that's been down with me from day one as a subscriber. Thank you to you all. So I want to shout out to Robert Carroll. Robert, I believe you are a subscriber. And he left a comment. So he said, all right, Geno. He said, pick one. Because he saw my show yesterday, and I briefly talked about this beef, this mess, this ish. It's just a few of the adjectives I could use. But this mess, this drama between Monique and D.L. Hughley. So I saw Monique, in D.L.'s words, eviscerate. I love it, eviscerate. Just verbally destroy D.L., his family, his manhood, his pet. I was like, damn, you going in on the pet. It's one thing to going on the manhood, but you went on his wife and his pet. Like, damn, what are we trying? Are we just trying to incite violence? We're not doing that. Then I heard D.L., who I thought was very measured. I had to give him a lot of credit because, man, if you just go back and watch Monique, you can see the video. I'm sure you can find it right here on YouTube. So she did a comedy show. She was part of a comedy show Saturday night in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to my man John Mason and Angie Starr, the morning team at KISS, I believe it was KISS 105.9 in Detroit. So they were like the host radio station for this comedy show. I believe co-headliners, D.L. Hughley, Monique. But Monique just went in, basically D.L. sabotaged her and didn't look out for her sister. And, you know, she was supposed to be the headliner. And so then they both pulling out contracts. Monique has a contract, but actually the contract she posted was a contract printed up from her management company. And her management company she calls him her daddy, which is her man. That's one thing. And then D.L. had a document from the promoter. So Robert Carroll said, all right, Geno, pick one. Now, he had like 9 things. Some of them toward the end were tongue-in-cheek. Actually, not bad. Not bad, Robert. Not bad at all. Holler at me, okay? Yeah, we may, you may have a role on the show somewhere. So he said, Geno, pick one. He said, Monique is right. D.L. should have stood up for a black woman against the promoter playing games. Then he had 2. So he had out 8 or 9. So I'm not going down all 9 of them to save time. 2, Monique is wrong for putting her money business out in the street or in broad daylight. Actually, it wasn't broad daylight. It was at night on stage at a venue, the Fox Theater, the legendary Fox Theater in downtown Detroit, Michigan. Number 4, she gives credence to the angry black woman trope and, you know, just that whole narrative, which is BS. I'll just answer that, you know. That's Monique. Monique didn't know. Because that whole angry black woman trope and narrative is BS anyway. It's really BS. Because if you think that black women are the only women to get angry, if they feel that they've been done wrong or injustice, or just maybe because they want to be mad, you ain't never seen a white woman mad? You ain't looked at TV? White folks do reality shows too now. It ain't just the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You got Beverly Hills, you got the Real Housewives all over the damn country. Look at some of these white women clowning, showing their ass, angry, fighting, straight hood, with money. Well, at least they look like they got money on TV. So listen, let's stop with number 4. She gives credence. She gave credence to Monique being angry and having anger issues. Don't put that off on black women collectively. Put that where it came from, as Monique and her ish and hers only. You cannot put that off on no other black woman. That behavior does not represent black women, period. Yes. Are there some angry black women? Or black women that get angry about stuff? Are there Hispanic women that get angry about stuff? Like I said, white women get angry about stuff all the time. Asian women, dude, I got to coach you up, partner. You should know it. If you don't, you understand it now. Then he had number 5 out of 9. He said, it's her husband's fault for not keeping her dignified in public. So let me answer this. My grandfather, the wisest person I ever knew, a man who quit school in 3rd grade because he wanted to get a full-time job to help take care of, so his mom, my great-grandmother, Jenny Jones, was a single mom. Had a limp, some type of limp he would talk about. And she was like a sharecropper working for some white man. And the white man was verbally abusive. And as a matter of fact, my grandfather applied it to stab him. He was going to take him out. And my great-grandmother actually sent my grandfather from a little small town in Mississippi, Yazoo City, Mississippi, to Jackson, Mississippi, just to, hey, you need to go stay with relatives. I can't have you killing this man. But I understand, because I'm wired the exact same way about the women in my family. Oh yeah. Yeah, you will see that dark side. You're talking about the Dark Knight. You will see the Dark Knight. You will see Robert McCall. You will see the 5932 South Elizabeth, south side of Chicago, Inglewood, before it really got really crazy. Yes, you will get that side of me messing with the women in my family. Really anyone, but especially the women in our family. Not even a conversation. No, I'm not even going to talk. It's just going to be time for some action. Silent, lethal. I'm just saying. But anyway, so what did my grandfather Conway Jones, one of the many pearls of wisdom, what did he teach me? He said, Jeannie, he pointed at his chest, right where his heart is. And he said, if it's not there, you can't put it there. Robert, let me say that to you and everybody that's watching me again. If it is not there, if it is not in a person's heart, you can't put it there. So what's really inside of Monique's heart and spirit and head, now her husband, he may play a part in that, but at the end of the day, we all have free will. Happiness is a choice. We choose to be happy. Now, circumstances, life, and situations can cause us to be angry, but at a certain point, the choice to continue to stay in that state of anger, or to learn to manage that anger, or to transfer that energy into something more constructive and positive, that is a choice that we all make. So at the end of the day, it ain't her husband's fault. He couldn't keep her dignified in public. She did. She is the one, the breadwinner. She wearing the pants and making the real big dollars. And there's been a whole lot of negative stuff said about they. First of all, Monique and her husband, they've been open about their open marriage publicly. Oh yeah, I believe in an open marriage. Hey, do you? If you all are happy, my mother would say, hey, if you like it, I love it for you. So if y'all like it, I love it for you. You happy? I'm happy that you're happy. But don't put that off on her husband. What she did on stage when she, in D.L. Hughley's words, eviscerated him, his wife, and their pet, and his manhood. No, her husband couldn't stop that. She did what she wanted to do in the moment. So you got to put blame where blame is. I always say, I teach my girls, and I live it. Hey, when you're wrong and you make a mistake, be the first one, raise your hand, own it, admit it, acknowledge it, accept it, apologize, and atone for it. Atone for it and adjust so it won't happen again. Just own it. My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize. I was wrong. I was in my feelings. I'm still in my feelings. I still don't like you. I still feel that you treated me wrong. So now what am I going to do with that emotion, those feelings and emotions? Because as long as I stay in that state of anger and resentment, then you have the power and control over me in the moment. You control my mental and emotional, which affects my physical state. And I am not going to give you that power. I am not. I am going to, not only am I going to reclaim my power, I'm not giving up my power. I can still be in my feelings, but I can adjust my feelings because remember, happiness is a choice. It is a state of mind and it is a choice. And we can choose, no matter how dark the day may be, at some point, we get to choose. We can pivot and choose. Say, okay, I'm hurt. I'm brokenhearted. I feel like my insides have been carved out. I'm really angry. I get it. But at some point, we can say, now what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with these emotions that's not benefiting me physically? That affects your blood pressure and your blood sugar and your digestive system and your heart rate and just the hormones in your body affects so many things. Your immune system, man, you give up so much power when you allow other people, when you stay in that state of anger and resentment and bitterness. And we all are human. We all go through it. But the key is, what did I say? The last two words I said is through it. 3 words. Go through it, not stay in it. But to go through it, acknowledge, you have to process it. You have to allow yourself to be human and breathe and experience and be honest and be real with yourself and go through it and not stay in it. To get out of it. If you were in a house and the house was on fire and the room you were in was okay, but eventually you felt flames, you heard flames, you could look under the door and you saw flames, or you saw smoke coming from under the door, would you stay inside that room or that house? No, if you had common sense. You would get your ass out. You would go through it, but you would get out of it. And that's what you have to do with anger and bitterness and resentment and envy. And envy and jealousy is just, don't even bother with that. Throw that ish out. Because those emotions don't do you any good. Envy, jealousy, that's really rooted in insecurity. It really is. If you see somebody doing great, something that you do, you see somebody, a competitor in business or whatever you do, entertainment, sports. Hey, you lose a game, you look at the game film, okay, let me go back and, so what do I need? What adjustments do I need to make Let me go in the lab and work on what I need to work on, so I can be the best version of myself. I'm not going to worry about, I know what you do. But I want you, I'm going to make you focus on what I do. Because if I know I'm being the best version of myself, I'm good. You're going to have hell to deal with if I am being the best version of who I am. So, no. And I don't have a dog in the fight. I've met DL. DL is really cute, a cool dude. I like the way he handled the situation, really, because he could have really, listen, let me tell you all something. What a lot of folks don't know about DL, DL, there's a part of DL that reminds me of myself. DL grew up not in the hood, but he was near the hood and around the hood enough. He know what folks about that life. And it ain't about being about that life like you're always ready to fight and, whoop somebody's ass and be violent. No. But I will defend myself. But I pick my battles. And I like the way and he said what he had to say. I thought he did an excellent job of just putting it out there. Because first, he posted something, I think it was Memorial Day. He said, you all not going to ruin my Sunday. He said, I got my stogie and whatever drink he was drinking. He said, y'all not going to ruin my Sunday. I'll get back to y'all later. But no. Bottom line, look, I'm going to bottom line this. At the end of the day, you know who Monique's beef was with? Was the promoter. That's who you need to be angry with. Monique signed a contract not with DL. She signed a contract with the promoter. So if she was so hell-bent on being the headliner and going on last, she'd have made sure that was ironclad. That's what her daddy, she calls him, her manager / her husband, that was his job. Then you need to be mad at him and the promoter, because that should have been ironclad in writing. Because guess what? If it was written in ink, ironclad, in a legal document signed off by everybody, that Monique was to be the last person to go on stage, guess what? DL would not have been the last person to go on stage, because DL would have been in a breach of contract. And whatever advance he got, or if he got all his money up front, he probably, by the time he went on stage, I'm pretty confident he had gotten all his money. But he would have been in breach of contract. And that promoter could have went to court and got all the money back from DL that he paid him to perform. So the truth is, if Monique truly was the headliner, and if that was in writing, legally, then Monique, your husband, I believe, is a lawyer. You going off on DL, you should have filed a lawsuit against the promoter, because that would have been a breach of your contract to let DL go on before you. Remember, this wasn't DL's show. DL Hughley wasn't the promoter. You could have sued the promoter instead of going on stage, going off. Now, listen, do you. You got a right to do you. Now, just because you got a right to do it, don't mean that it was the right thing to do, but you have a right. Yes, you got the First Amendment, free speech, but with free speech comes consequences. And like I said yesterday, you just got off the we ain't effing with you list. Listen, and DL said it best. He said, I should have listened. I should have listened and learned from Oprah and Tyler Perry and Lee Daniels and Steve Harvey. That's what DL said. That ain't what I said. That's what DL said. So you had a beef with everybody that worked on the movie Precious, Oprah, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry. You had beef with Steve Harvey. You had beef with Charlemagne. With Netflix. At some point, and I've said this so many times on my show, at some point, if you seem to have a series of the same problem with different people, at some point, you have to look in the mirror and say, what is the one common denominator? Why do I always experience the same type of thing with different people? At some point, you play a part in that. You got to start looking in the mirror and say, okay, what is it about me? That's a fact in a relationship, man or woman, in a business relationship, in a romantic relationship, in any situation. Everybody else can always be wrong. And as my mother taught me, one of her many pearls of wisdom, she said, Jeannie, you can't always be right. It can't always be your way. And that's the advice. I would just say, yo, Mo, talk to my mother. She's a little older, some wisdom that I needed some time ago. Jeannie, you can't always be right, Monique, or no one. DL, I don't care who it is. None of us, you can't always be right because none of us are always right. And it can't always be your way. Thank you, Robert Carroll. I appreciate it, brother. You helped, I hope this monologue, I hope the conversation, I hope it did some people well. I hope you were able to take some of that and hopefully you enjoyed it. So please feel free to do like Robert Carroll. Leave me your comment, your question, your criticism, whatever you got to say it. You can jump into my chat room live and leave a comment after the show like Robert Carroll did. And please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show right here on YouTube. Shout out to my mother. Hey, mother, how are you doing? She said, Monique shouldn't act like that. She doesn't have to have an attitude on stage. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the video, mother, but it was just, yeah. Okay. Sometimes you can just go too far. I've had my own mother who's watching me right now. I've had Damaris, I've had Allie, I've had Boogie. They always like, okay, you just went too far. Just stop. Sometimes they'll see me going there, they'll be like, don't you know? Stop. They will save me from myself. And I said that in one of my earlier monologues. We all need somebody in our life that can save us from ourselves. The one person that, regardless of how much money, fame, fortune, power you have, the one person that can just look you in your eye and say, listen, I don't really give a damn about this power or money. I'm going to tell you not what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear when you need to hear it. We all need at least one person. And if you have one person like that, you were blessed. And if you're like me and you got multiple people, you got 4 people like that in your life, I am beyond blessed. But we all need somebody in our life at some time to save us from ourselves. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Please subscribe. You and everybody you know and don't know, everybody you like, you love, you can't stand, hate, strangers, aliens. Tell them all. On the freeway, on the Dan Ryan, in Chicago, on the Kennedy, on the 405 in L.A., on I-20 or I-75, 85 in Atlanta, on 95 in New York, going from New York all the way down to Miami, and every place in between, on the I-10 from Florida all the way to L.A., all up and down the East and West Coast in flyover country. Subscribe to my channel. Remember, I come on live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram, IG, Kel B Cutting Up. Kel, that's Kel, Kelbecuttinup. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. And Bruce Gage, Allie Jones, fashion designer, fashion design major, fashion design superstar, supermodel. Check her out, her drip, her collection, and just her look, her poses. You need a supermodel because she's like up next. She's really here now. Lexi with 2 X's, LEXXIE dot Nicole underscores at dash at the bottom designs. Lexi with 2 X's dot Nicole underscore dash below at the bottom designs. And Bruce Gage on Instagram, Miglio D Mario Uomo. Now that's an Italian name. Miglio D is MIGILIODI MARIOUOMO. If you didn't get it, just, if you're watching me live when the show's over, just rewind it and pause it so you can get those email, those Instagram accounts where you can find them, okay? Their Instagram addresses, their locations. All right, everybody. I got to get out of here. Thank you once again. Thank everybody so much. Shout out to, hey, Groove Master Dre. What's up, man? Amen on happiness. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Hey, thank you for watching, too, Groove Master Dre. Yes, man. Happiness, man, is a choice. We choose happiness. Because when you can choose to be happy, regardless of how hard it is, at some point you just got to say blanket. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, for 60 seconds, I'm going to choose to be happy. I'm making a choice because I have a choice. As long as God gives me breath, I can choose to be happy. And if the people around you, if everybody else is in their feelings and is angry and full of the devil and Satan, that's their problem. Never let a you problem point at all those other people. I'm not going to let a you problem become a me problem. All right, everybody. As my phone rings, the next live edition is going to be tomorrow, 6:30. Thank you for watching. Always be blessed. Pray for peace.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.